How do you know that a child's motoric movements are developing optimally? Here is a short screening test that can be performed with a grade R, kindergarten, or grade 1 child. Assess the child's motor movement development in terms of the child's ability to do the different tasks on the score sheet. With ease means easily done with little or no effort. Can but struggles means that the child is able to do it, but it does not come easily. Struggles a lot means the child finally gets it done, but it is difficult for him or her. Cannot do it at all means the child is not able to do the task. The screening tool is available for download from the Knowledge for Action website. Gross motor skills. The first thing that we will check is the child's balance in terms of walking balance. Heel to toe walking on line, forwards and backwards. Show the child that the one foot should touch the other one as he or she is walking on a line. Heel to toe walking without line, forwards and backwards. Here, the child should walk on an imaginary line. The idea is to see if the child can still walk straight without a line being present. Hopping on one leg at a time. Here, you do not have to tell the child which leg to use first, but notice which one he or she starts with. This is usually the most dominant leg. Make sure that you then also check the opposite leg. In other words, that the child does not use the same leg when he or she hops back. Check the left leg and then the right leg, or vice versa. Balance on one leg. It is best if this exercise is done with the child to demonstrate what to do. Eyes open, left leg, 10 counts. Eyes open, right leg, 10 counts. Eyes closed, left leg, 5 counts. Eyes closed, right leg, 5 counts. Mimic postures. Demonstrate to the child what to do. You can also do the sequence more than once and do it a bit faster to see if the child can keep following you. Hands on shoulders. Hands on ears crossed over face. Hands on knees. Hands on knees crossed over. Tongue to the side of mouth. Posture on verbal command. This time you do not demonstrate, but just tell the child what to do. This will show if he or she is able to do motoric movements on voice command. This assesses how well the child can process the auditory input and correlate with corresponding motor movements, thus how the brain tells the body how to move. Put your one hand on top of the other hand. Put your one foot in front of your other foot. Put your hands on your back. Rub your tummy. Reach out as far as you can. Posture against gravity. Gravity has a constant influence on our motor movements. These tasks assess how well the little body can withstand the gravitational pull. Lie on your back and try to make your body into a ball. The tighter the ball, the better. See if the child can hold this position for 10 counts. Lie on your tummy and fly like an airplane. This is also called the Superman position. The child should be able to hold his or her legs as well as arms up in the air at the same time. Also observe if the child is able to hold his or her legs together or are they apart. This exercise is also a good indication of core strength. Catching and throwing. This should be done with both hands and then one hand at a time. The child will usually use the more dominant hand if he or she is asked to use only one hand. Observe which hand this is and make a note for dominance. In other words, is the catching and throwing hand the same hand that the child uses for writing? It is also much easier to catch and throw a beanbag than a ball, as the ball moves faster. Notice the child's possible difference in ability between the two. Catch and throw. Catch. Ball, both hands. Ball, one hand. Beanbag, both hands. Beanbag, one hand. Throw. Ball, both hands. Ball, one hand. Beanbag, both hands. Beanbag, one hand. Stride jumps. Check the child's ability in doing the same side and opposite side of the body. Unilateral, same side. Contralateral, opposite side. Leg slaps. Check the child's ability in doing the same side and opposite side of the body. Unilateral, same side. Contralateral, opposite side. The following general gross motoric movements can also be checked under the section marked as general. Bouncing a big ball. See how well the child is able to control the ball. Jumping jacks, arms only, shoulder high. Is the child able to let the legs and arms go out at the same time? Galloping. This can be done in a circle or up and down. Skipping. Not all children can skip at grade R kindergarten age, but the child should be able to do it in grade 1. Wheelbarrow walk. This is usually a fun exercise to do in pairs. This also checks and practices the child's core strength. Infinity walk. The infinity walk can also be done as a class exercise. See if the child is able to do the crossover in the middle. The infinity walk can then also be checked as a fine motor activity. Fine motor skills. Pencil grip. Pencil grip may differ in terms of the child's stage of development. By the middle to the end of grade R, kindergarten, the correct pencil grip, thus the tripod grasp, should be in place. A correct pencil grip is important as it has an influence on the child's ability to control the pencil during writing. Tracing between two lines. This exercise checks how well the child is able to control and direct the pencil. The following should be assessed. Directionality. In which direction is the child going around the figure? Smooth movements. Are the movements smooth or jerky, and does the child stop and start a few times? Midline crossing. Is the child able to pass the midline in front of the body without lifting the pencil? Coloring of picture. It may seem obvious that at grade R, kindergarten age, children can color, but what is important to note is the way in which the child is coloring. For instance, is the child coloring haphazardly in different directions, or is he or she coloring left to right? Left to right coloring is important as it sets the stage for letter formation later on. The following should be assessed while the child is coloring the picture. Direction, smooth movement, midline crossing, staying between the lines. Copying of figures. Look for the following while the child is copying the figures. Extra angles, size distortion, shape distortion. Cutting. Cutting skills show many different fine motor movements. Children usually struggle at first to cut, but the more they are exposed to cutting out pictures and shapes, the more they get used to the movements. Also, always ensure that you give a left-handed person the correct scissors. In terms of scissor grip, the following is assessed. Correct, incorrect. In terms of cutting skills, the following is assessed. Direction, smooth movements, manipulation, midline crossing while cutting. Dominance. Dominance can be assessed throughout the different exercises. Although there are some people who are truly ambidextrous, most people have one side which is more dominant. Check dominance in terms of hand, left or right, or not established. Foot, left or right, or not established. Eye, left or right, or not established. Eye movements. It is important that children's eye movements are checked. This is often an indication of how well they'll be able to copy from the board and test or examination papers later on. A pen, pencil, or your finger can be used to direct the child's gaze. Assess eye movements in terms of horizontal, left to right, vertical, up and down, diagonal, across, tracking, around, near and far, quick localization. Thank you for joining us today as we explore children's motor development. For more information on this and many other topics on child development, visit the University of Johannesburg's Knowledge for Action website.